Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well and happy Thursday. And I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching with me. I am. I am fully ready. And today again is it's been a really busy day, and so I'm really looking forward to this peaceful moment and peaceful time with you. So today, we're visiting this old friend. Okay, so this piece is from Kim Jacobs. I don't know, guys. You know all the regulars that kind of joined me maybe last year sometime. You're probably aware we used to have a Kim Jacobs Saturday. I think it was on Wednesday, and then I decided to clear the day for other things. So this was one of the pieces that I worked on quite a lot during that period, and this is called Dry Flower. Okay, if you're not familiar with Kim Jacobs, just have a look at this. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful image there. Yes, this is a very Kim Jacobs style, and all her pieces are very soft, focused, and also the palettes are quite, how do I put it? It's almost like dreamy. And she's got quite a few other pieces, very few, very little 310 going on there, you can probably tell. And in terms of colors, it's very soft and very dreamy. And I love this piece. And this is also a mini as well. I think is working really well. I like to draw your attention to the middle, slightly lower middle part. There's a chair and there's a little kitty as well. And it's just so whimsical. And this is a rim, clearly, is for someone to create dry flowers and maybe preparing for the winter season, for autumn, and just keeping those flowers alive in some way. And it's absolutely beautiful. And so this piece, it's a mini, as I said, and let me just show you my progress up to this point. Okay, so this piece I started the beginning of last year, before the whole live stream, situation started. I started sort of the beginning of last year, just needed a little bit of a change, and I decided to work on this piece, which is a mini, and also I decided to work on it with 10 stitches. So this is one of the first sort of 10 stitches kind of projects that I've got here. So I started from the upper left there, and gradually I think I changed the stitching method a couple of times as usual, and this is where I am at this point. Okay, so let me just zoom out a little bit so you get some idea, and let me show you my progress up to this point. Okay, oh my god, I still have my last sprint open there. It wasn't too bad. It was actually March, the last time I worked on it, sort of mid-March. So it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. And I would like to quickly erase the last project, the last sprint, and start a fresh one in front of you. Okay, so let me start right here. But I'd like to draw your attention to my percentage on the upper left there. So 7.26, not bad at all, really. And yes, it's a mini, but 7 is a pretty decent percentage. And this is regular color as well, so it's 90 colors. Okay, so this is where I am. I'm quite happy with it. Oops, I just jumped out of the pattern. And also this is a 10 stitch project, which I'm really looking forward to doing. And I want to say hello to all of you. Hello, and hope you're having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And let's have a look. Oh, we have Rajal. Rajal saying hello to everyone. Happy Thursday stitching, and happy Thursday stitching. In fact, happy stitching every day to you, Rajal. Welcome. And Sarah as well. Oh, Sarah is giving the chat another quote today. It's Sarah says, "Peace doesn't come from fixing your life. It comes from learning to sit calmly inside your chaos. Absolutely. I remember the other day someone posted a picture. It was really funny. It was basically a stitcher peacefully stitching while there's fire and fights going outside. It's a little bit like that. And I think this is why stitching is so wonderful. It kind of tunes you inward and for you to focus on the moment and notice that there's a lot of joy. Doesn't matter what's happening in your life. If you sit down, if you quiet your mind, the peace is right there. So thank you so much, Sarah. What a wonderful quote. And Lizzie as well. Lizzie says, fellow stitchers, how are you all? I get a dreaded lurgy and have no energy to stitch. Oh, Lizzie, I hope you get better soon. I mean, if you watch someone stitching, normally, if I don't feel like stitching, if I'm feeling tired, if I just watch someone stitching, I want to grab something and start stitching as well. So hopefully that's going to work for you as well. And if not, just chat, okay? And rest and relax. And Clara is here as well, says hi everyone, and Dragon Lady as well, really excited for today's stitch. And me too, Dragon Lady. And Susan is lovely, Susan is here. And who else have we got here? Michelle, hello, Michelle, reporting from the work club. Yes, working on wool scrap bags. Right, so that's work, is it? That sounds like fun. And yes, I think Michelle has got sort of crafting business as well, if I can call it that. And yes, work is play, isn't it, for Michelle? So nice to see you. And also Linda Diamond is here saying hello to everyone. Oh, Linda is going to crochet. Okay, side quest day for Linda. And Lefty Gemini as well, welcome. And BLT as well, good to see you. And our lovely Suzanne. And Catherine, Ryan as well. And Gayla, great to see you, Gayla. I hope you're having a great day. And Betty Hankins as well, waving with both hands. And Busy Mom as well, joining us. And who else have we got? Chelsea, hello Chelsea. Great to see you. And Lynn, of course, our Lynn is here. And Floss Heaven has joined us as well. And Mary, is it Mary Henry's? Welcome back. And Marsha, yes, Marsha, when are you going on the cruise? Is it anytime soon now? And so good to see you from Australia. And let's have a look. And Brittany is here as well. Welcome back. And guys, yes, this piece. So, as I said, I'm working on 10 stitches. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can appreciate what's happening on the fabric. So I moved my fabric a little bit to the right side, which probably gives you some hint on where I'm going to be working today. Very subtle hint going on there. So what's happening here, I'll show you the full view in a bit. But basically, I moved my hoop to the right side. I think today, I'm gonna focus on this area, but also maybe extending the border a little bit. So this is a top border, and I've been kind of, well, not quite avoiding it, but I kind of try to stay away up to this point, because from this point on, if I look at the markup, there are quite a lot of quite pale colors. So, I'm gonna just dip in and out of this area and start to sort of extend the border to the right side there. And but of course I'm going to focus on this area as well. And guys, you can probably notice this is a mini, right? But just look at the number of pass threads I've got in this area. It's fairly confetti. And this area is full of flowers, dried flowers. So let me just show you the full view here so you know which area I'm going to be working on. So moving from the left side, I am around here. Okay, this is my focus area today. And if I turn on the markup view, you can probably appreciate what's happening today. So on the right side, it's not too bad. There's some yellow flowers there, slightly paler color. But moving down, quite a lot of, purpley colors and pink, which, it's going to be quite fun to work with. But fairly confetti, fairly confetti. So I'm gonna just, you know, slow down and just take one stitch at a time and just, you know, as usual, just enjoy every single stitch. And so this is my plan today. What is your plan? And what are you working on? I need to know. And let's have a look. And also, in terms of method, I am going to do a little bit of color flow. And this is what I've been sort of transitioning into the last couple of sessions, okay? And also very much inspired by Gemma, of course, from Gemma Stitches. You know, I went over and watched the tutorial, the new tutorial. Well, she was basically starting the new piece at the same time talking through how she does a color flow, and I picked up a few tips. I haven't watched the whole thing. I think I watched about 20 minutes, but already it's been, you know, it's very helpful, and I'll definitely go back and watch the remaining of the video. So guys, if you want to, you know, figure out how color flow works, you know, watch the OG, you know, how she does it. And I'm just learning and apply to my own stitching. So the last few sessions, I kind of transitioned to color flow, and you can tell by there's no floating stitches, okay? And this bit, I was stitching sort of a different method. I was doing minimum to max. I'm still yet to go back and finish that off, but I want to focus on this area today. And so there's going to be a lot of parking, okay? Just a little bit of warning there. if you don't like to look at chaos, you know, this one you probably want to watch with eyes closed. So let's go. I cannot wait. I have not worked on 10 stitches for a little bit, and I just love this piece. It's so gorgeous. And let's have a look. Let me pick the first color here. I'm going to start with the pass threads, of course, and unlike other parking methods, I'm going from top to bottom. If you're doing block by block, you'll probably lift everything off and start working from the bottom threads. But with color flow, you go from top to bottom, okay, or whichever direction that you're going from. Right, and I've got my coffee ready here. Let me just take a little sip here. And Janine, hello, welcome. Janine says, on my way home, so we'll look until I get 3 there stitch with mom today. Oh, how nice. Mom is stitching as well. How nice. And drive safely, okay? Drive safely. And please look as much as you want. Mary Solas is here as well, and Mary says, waiting for your lovely smile. Yes, I'm definitely smiling when I'm stitching. Right, let's go. So first, this is my first color. Let me zoom in a little bit, okay? So you get to appreciate all the beautiful stitches. And I love the color palette. It's like stitching plants. Do you know what I mean? The sort of, you know, the range of colors is just like so at one with nature. So I just love, I think parking is just perfect for this piece because you get to appreciate all the threads. So I'm going to start here, 3 stitches. So you've never tried tent before. This is how you do it. Just one leg, just one leg. Yes, it's not cheating, okay? It's not cheating. It's just a different way to stitch. Here, I'm going to park it down here. And also I'm stitching on, the fabric is actually 22 count fabric. So the coverage is pretty decent. And Susan is working on Long Dog, the House of Fun. Yes, it does look like fun, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3. Let me just make sure that I'm 1, 2, 3. No. And also I'm stitching with CXC. So it's very fluffy, very full. Kelly says, hi Yogi, hello Yogi and my stitching friends, and hello to Kelly. Kelly's probably quoting again today. Oh, Kelly says I was stitching the monochrome ornament earlier, but I need to get back in the sewing room later. I knew it. These 3 I've done. Skip one. Okay, it's entirely possible that I stitched this one stitch off, but doesn't matter. We can do this. I just fudged that. No one will notice. I could have just stitched that one as well. Never mind. I'll come back. BLT is working on Long Dog sampler as well. Well, Long Dog is popular today. And drinking iced tea. Lovely. It's getting to that kind of season, isn't it? Some areas, depends on where you are, is starting to get a little bit warm. We're not quite there yet. So this one's just 1 stitch. And I'm very keen to get some new insight from Gemma as well, because you know she stitched the whole piece, the full size Heaven and Earth, using pretty much color flow, and so her take on how to do it, it's got to have evolved in some way, and I'm very keen to find out. The only thing I would say is that because Gemma, she stitches mostly, I don't think she ever ventured into max colors. She stitches regular colors. Not saying 90 colors is, a small number, but in comparison to 240, for instance, it's a little bit different. So I'm just wondering whether this method, whether the number of colors has, in terms of confetti, has impact on how you approach it. Because I have done it with vintage toys, max colors, and also sleep time as well. And it kind of flows to a certain extent, but I don't know, maybe just the way I'm doing it. Because there are a lot of moment by moment kind of decision making there. It's not a black and white method. Rachel, hello. Oh, Rachel is so fit. Rachel is going to do some cardio workout and then come back to stitch. Definitely. Go for it. And Suzanne says, I'm knitting tonight. Have a sock heel to work on. Oh, that's the trickiest part of a sock, isn't it? I think the entire sock is tricky for me. I think sock knitting is, for me, is love and hate relationship. And I love it, but at the same time, I'm scared. It's either I end up with just one sock for eternity, or my 2 socks just don't match in size. Or I manage to stay as to knit both socks. And then as I wear them, I like to wear my socks, okay? As I wear them, they just become larger and larger and really loose within 2 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Marsha says, Yogi, I'm completely ruining my start on European Bistro last night, and first time doing 10 stitch. How do you anchoring your stitch when I start your 10 stitch? Oh, how to start a 10 stitch, is it? Oh, good question. So yes, Marsha has got this beautiful kit from Dimensions, which I've got as well. I bought it years and years ago. It's called European Bistro. It's just it's not from John O'Brien, is it? It's from someone else. I can't remember who the artist is, but it's really, really a lovely piece. And I think Marsha is trying to stitch it with 10 stitch. And what fabric count is it? Because with 10 stitch, if you're doing 2 strand, then you do a loop start. That would be the best. And then if you have to work with 2 separate strands, there are a few options. You can do a pin start. Do not worry, because I'm working on 10 stitch tonight. So when I'm about to start a new thread, I will give you a shout. There are few options, depending on whether you're working single strand or double strand. Okay, do not worry, do not panic. There are ways of doing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That one. I do love color flow, actually. I do love it. Sometimes there are areas that it just doesn't flow, then I switch to other methods. But when I do color flow, I just feel so good. Let me see if I want to part this far. Do I? No. Okay, so I'm going to end, okay? Marsha, do you have issues with ending as well? But I'm going to end my stitch here. I haven't done 10 stitches for a while, so I have to remind myself. So I think I'm going to do a tuck-in. So basically, I went from top to bottom, and then I just come up the opposite. Doesn't matter which side. You just do let me zoom in a little bit more. Can you see that? So I just come up from the upper right or bottom left. It's up to you. And I'm going to just insert my needle through the center and do a pin. That's it. And hopefully, I will be able to... oh, this one is a little bit thick, but it's not too bad. Basically, you bury the pin under the 10 stitch, and that's it. That's it. And it's quite secure. Yes, you can see a little bit. It's because this is super zoomed in. But if I zoom out, you cannot see the difference. And also, when I stitch all the surrounding stitches, you cannot tell. There's a little bit extra going on there. Can you see that? You can't tell. It's just a normal stitch. 779. Let me just put this away. And Brittany says, curious to what technique everyone will start Grand Library, doing a left corner start, but unsure other than that. Thoughts, Yogi? So what is your what would you like to know in terms of where to start on a piece or how to start a piece in terms of stitching method? If it's where you want to start, just start from any corner or the center. That's anywhere that kind of that you're interested in. I think for me, where I choose to start is I kind of visualizing. If I start from a certain location, as I move forward, will I be able to sustain my focus and interest, at least for that, area? If there's a lot of sky, around one of the corners, I would not start there because I know, particularly when you start a piece, you want to start to kind of you want to see things happening. So I would normally pick the busiest the busiest corner, and sometimes I start from the center if I'm desperate. So that's how I do it. But it's up to you. It doesn't matter where you start, as long as you can find a location accurately. It doesn't matter. And Susan says 10 stitches makes it look like a watercolor painting. Exactly. I think 10 stitches really works well, particularly for this piece and also a lot of Kim Jacobs pieces. It just has that kind of sketch effect and watercolor, just a very loose style, which I love. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just something so orderly about this method. And, if you want to work Gemma's method, either the original or this one or color flow, you need to be happy threading and unthreading. I know Gemma talks about having live needles. I kept saying hot needles. I think she refers them as live needles, which, you can keep your needles threaded. If you're working in a certain area, you're going to switch the same set of colors. You could do that potentially, but I don't do that. I'm happier sort of just threading and unthreading. I don't mind it. It's quite relaxing to do. So if threading is your pain point, then perhaps you want to stay away from these methods. Tommy says, hi everyone, I've tried 10 stitch, but I find counting much harder for some reason. Yes, counting, if you do cross country, I'm still having trouble doing that because stitches look different. Let me just show you this area here. This is what's happening. I was trying to do minimum to max. I basically box this area, trying to do minimum to maximum based on color counts, so the stitch count based on colors, and this is where I am. It's been there, deserted for a little while, because I find it really hard to read 10 stitches when you do color completion in a larger area or cross country. It's just harder to read if you're if you've been doing full crosses all along. Yes, I do find it challenging. So this is why color flow is really good option, because you don't have to, there's no float, stitches that kind of, floating away. So you're pretty much working around the completed area. You attach to the completed area. Oh, hang on a second. What is going on here? Why do I have... Okay, this one is not correct. There, 2 stitches. And I am going to take it down here. And CXC, the threads are quite full and fluffy, so I try not to take the threads too far away. Oh, I need to turn on my 5x5. Yes. So 1, 2, 3. Because it's going. If I take my thread too far away and part too far away, I'm going to build up a lot of threads under the fabric, and it's going to make stitching harder. There's a lot of threads running under. Floss Heaven says, what count did you say this is? This is 22 counts. 22 counts. Alison Rainey, hello. And Alison's working on Garden Shed. Garden Shed, is that the one I'm working on? No, that's the one with kitties, right? Yes, it's really fun one as well from Hade. It's a little bit tangled. I feel like a hairdresser again. And the other day we were talking about hairdressing. And the chat, there's a surprising number of people in the chat, actually. Either they're hairdressers themselves or have, you know, family members, they're hairdressers. It's very interesting. Two. I'm gonna park it down here. Floss Heaven says, I love you. I love when you break rules, Yogi. Makes me feel better about being a rebel. Yes, sometimes, you know, it's not even about being a rebel. It's just that you have to in order to make it work. You have to bend the rules, you know. You can call it rule breaking or rule bending. Just bend it until it works for you. But I think it's very helpful to know how it's intended, whatever you're trying to do. So you know how you can bend it without breaking it. Okay, next one. I'm gonna introduce a new thread. So Marsha, I'm gonna show you how I start this color. 415. I kind of change my method of starting with tent from time to time. 415 is a silver. I wonder if we're going to have spooky bingo today, because I doubt there's any 310 here. No 310 inside with King Jacobs. Kelly says the older I get, the less rules I'm willing to follow, because I have figured out a lot of rules are BS anyway. Yes, that's probably true. Yes. The more life experience you have, perhaps, then you know that what works, what doesn't. One, two. Where am I? There. Okay, I need to figure out where I am first. That helps. Yes, so here, look at this. So, Marsha, I've got loop start. So this is one of the ways you could do it. The simplest. You just do a regular loop start with a loop. But of course, you only do it one leg. Two, three. And later on, I'll show you how to do it if you don't have a loop, okay? So with this one, I'm going to park it right here. And this one, why is it here? 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Marsha says Yogi's 14 count, 3 strands for 10. Oh, I see. How interesting. So did you get your own fabric? Because dimensions, if I remember that piece, it's probably 18 counts or something like that. So Marsha's doing on 14, 3 strands. Okay, interesting. Then you can do, yes, if you yes, if you're working 3 strands, you can't really do loop. You can create your own loop, but I don't know if whenever I try to do DIY loop, sometimes things get tangled. But you could do a pin to start and then stitch over it. I'll show you how I do it later on when I get there. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just easing away from the edges here. Interesting. Lizzie says, I always start top left, except when it's Gecko Rouge, then I do a center start. Why is that then? Why do you do a center start when it's Gecko Rouge? I wonder. Okay, let me come back to the left. And it's interesting because with the color flow, generally, I'm still trying to keep things roughly diagonal. But today, when I was watching Gemma's demonstration, she's not too fussed about that. So, you know, she doesn't particularly say that it has to be diagonal, or maybe, try to keep it that way, which is interesting. 169. I think it's probably largely depending on the pattern. Brittany says, starting in the left, the first shawl has dragon scene, but with the bookshelf layout. Would you do diagonal, color flow, etc.? Oh, in terms of stitching method, it's entirely up to you, because it really depends on what you're happy stitching. So have you done color flow before? I think diagonal is generally a good idea, but some people, they stitch like 1 page at a time, they do color completion, so being diagonal or not doesn't come into it. It really depends on the stitching method you like, really. So without knowing that, it's really hard to suggest. I think, the best stitching method is the one you enjoy most. And also sometimes I find, because I switch around quite a few different methods and I enjoy them all if I pick the right one, and I think that's probably the key. So it's about looking at your fabric. This is how I do it. It's channeling, it's a bit like kind of talking to your whip to a certain extent. A lot of times if I look at a pattern and then I look at my fabric and kind of visualizing how I'm going to start, it gives me some idea on what method to go for. I think it definitely, your fabric definitely speaks to you. It works like that for me anyway. So it's really hard to say if I have any favorite methods. I have a few favorites. Lizzie says, I thought if you part the threads, you have to work bottom to top. Normally, if you do it one area by one area, so if you do block by block, for instance, is a really good example, then, you know, because you're working one block at a time, then when you come to a new block, you just lift everything upwards and work from the bottom. And because then you don't have to run into other threads. So that's the benefit. But with Gemma's method, you work from top down or whichever direction you're going. So with the pass threads, you aren't working from top down. And that's why, that's kind of my question. I'd love to ask Gemma, because Gemma's pattern, as I said, she only works on regular regular colors, which is 90 colors. And so when she parks, I've never seen her with this many pass threads at a time, even though this is not max color, but this is a mini with 90 colors, So proportionally, you've got more color changes within, you know, this area, this size of fabric. So I'm curious to know her thought, because with max colors, obviously you're creating a lot of pass threads, and it makes parking sometimes very tricky. I have to lift all the threads up and trying to find the right spot to park. You know what I mean? So potentially you could argue maybe color flow works better when there are less colors. I think all stitching methods probably work better somehow. It's easier when there are less colors, isn't it? I want to pick on this one. Lynn says Yogi will be okay tonight with your chocolate on Laeta. It will never get through the threads. You could plait that lot and tie a bow on it. Oh, Lynn, so insightful. Yes, yesterday I had a little bit of a mishap. My fabric, I've got that tiny little crumb of chocolate on my fabric, and it's top quality chocolate, so it starts melting right away, and and I ended up with a chocolate stain on my fabric there. I know. Today, yes, I've got so many threads there to guard the chocolate. It's chocolate proof. This piece is chocolate proof. Yes, Lynn, you're quite right. Today I'm safe. I'll try not to repeat that performance again. It's not ideal. And it happened while I was telling everybody, I was telling the chat, you know, you have to be careful with the chocolate not to get it on your fabric. And lo and behold, a large stain on my fabric. Okay, so this one, I am going to come over here, 2 in the middle, and 1. So I really need to be mindful when I try to find a parking spot, because it's a little bit tricky. 1, 2, 3. What's up? Kristen, oh dear, Kristen has made appearance. Normally means I've done something wrong. Kristen, sorry, I'm slightly behind, but I can see you. Oh, it's not updating for us. Oh, the app view. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not hiding, okay? I'm not hiding. Yes, my app is frozen again. I'm not trying to cheat. All right, yes, indeed. Kristen, you're absolutely correct. It's not updating. Outrageous. Let me try again. Yes, I'm not hiding, okay? I'm not trying to cheat. Right, let me try again. Yes, for some reason, it freezes sometimes. Let's see if we can get this one working. Let's have a look. I know, I don't know why it freezes. I think my computer is just being pushed to the limit. And it's so old and it's just grinding most of the time. So there you go, forgive me. Hopefully, yes. It's moving? It's moving, yay, we're back. We're back, okay. No cheating, okay. I'm sure every single stitch I've been doing so far, you're correct, all right? Completely correct. Where am I? No, I don't know where I am. I am going to park here. 1, 2. Just one above. Oh, already? We've already got one thread there. So in that case, I am going to park it to the right. So I probably need to focus on the smaller area at a time because my eyes are going left, right, and center. There. Get a hairbrush out. Why don't I work from here? What is happening here? Hi, Cami. Hello. And Walkaway as well has joined us. Good to see you. Chelsea says, I always have trouble doing pin stitches on even weave. Yes, even weave, then we're talking about probably 25 counts and above, right? So yes, it's a little bit tricky. And also if you do a lot of it, I find the fabric starts to distort a little bit. So it's not my favorite method overall. I don't mind doing it on 14 counts. 14 counts I can get away with it. But let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to work in sort of from this direction. I think it would be better rather than me kind of, moving left, right, and center, which is just recipe for disasters. So this one is 318, 318. 318, I've got this one's threaded already. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to do a non-loop start, okay? So I think I'm going to do a small pin, like a quarter stitch. So if what I'm doing is half stitch, I'm going to do a quarter from the bottom left. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you so you can see. So I'm going to start from this stitch, okay? Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Okay. So I'm coming from bottom left there. So this one, I do not have the loop. So I'm going to leave a little tail there to be safe. And I'm going to do a quarter stitch, half of the half, okay? And just insert the needle through the center. Hopefully it's going to go through. I'm going to catch a little bit of fabric. So that's the idea. So it's kind of a quarter pin stitch through the center. Can you see that? And I'm going to just pull it through and keep that tail there. It doesn't slip. Can you see that? It catches the fabric a little bit in the corner there. And then I'm going to come up from the bottom left again, the same spot. And then just stitch over it. That's it. And you can maybe see a tiny little bit underneath, but it's not too bad. And then I can, I'm going to come back and cut this bit off Does that make sense? So it's I think it's kind of a little bit easier for me because you could potentially do a boomerang, but I find when I start with boomerang, I can end stitches with boomerang better. For some reason, if I start with boomerang, it just turns into a mess sometimes, kind of a big bulk. And I find quarter pin is a little bit easier for me. So hopefully you caught that, Marsha. So I'm going to come back and cut this bit off. Okay. So I just did this one over there. So that one is done. And the next one, the purple. Let me double check the color. It looks a little bit lighter than the swatch. 3041. 3041. Oh, indeed. See, I spotted it. It's not the same colors. 3041 looks like this. 3041 is a dark, kind of purpley brown. And this one I've got is light purple. How did it end up here? Very naughty. Very naughty. So I will have to... It looks a little bit like this one. Did I just park it incorrectly? No, this one is not right either. Is it? No, it's different. All right then. I'm gonna cut this bit off. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what this one is. There is no surrounding colors. That looks like this. So, guys, close the eyes, okay? Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Oh, ouch. Spooky bingo. 318, really? Sarah. I just saw that. The first spooky bingo. Did I do 318? Of course I did. Or did I? I don't know. Yes, let me pick this color, okay, properly. I've lost track which one I'm stitching. I am stitching... well, in fact, why don't I start with this one? It's better. 3836. 3836. Oh, hang on. It was 3836. What? 3836. I just cut off the correct color. Oh dear. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Walkaway says that's how I do my starts. Are you referring to the quarter pin? It's quite handy, isn't it? I think it works for probably all stitches and all fabric counts. Lizzie says I always do loop start. I love doing a single loop strand because it feels like it should be impossible, but it's probable. Yes, single strand loop start is easier. Double strand, if you're trying to create your own loop, I mess it up very frequently because it just turned into a big bulky thing for me. All right, I'm here. I'm here. I'm all good. All good. Because all the part threads, they're kind of done during different sessions, and sometimes, you know, particularly till the end of the session, I lose focus. Very often, I just part things randomly everywhere. So very often, threads are part in the wrong areas, wrong spots. Hello, River. Two. And three. And I'm going to be good. I'm going to park here. Okay then. 3861. 3861. It's always nice to have a new thread, new strand, because you know you can do loop start. Marsha says, thank you, Yogi, for showing me the start stitch. The pattern is different. Stitches like Maggie. Did you match your 10 stitches to the direction of top stitches of full cross on Maggie? What do you mean by that? Oh, right. Marsha, so your tent. Right, I see what Marsha. So Marsha is not doing tent for the entire piece. So the European bistro is very similar to Maggie. It's got different stitches. And I think when Marsha is saying, I think we talked about that a few sessions ago, working on Maggie, is that when you have a piece like Maggie, the messmaker, the dimensions piece, where you have a combination of full cross and also 10 stitches. So there was a discussion. I wouldn't say it's a debate, right? Because it's really depending on how you would like to do it. There's a school of thought that they reckon that because normally, for instance, my second leg is pointing this way. My tent is pointing that way when I do a single. When the whole piece is tent, I tend to do bottom left to upper right. And but when you're doing full cross, the second leg is pointing this way, right? So if you have a whole piece with a mixture of 10 stitches and full cross, what Marsha is saying that whether you actually turn your 10 stitches this way in order to match all your full crosses, you know what I mean? Because full crosses, the second leg is pointing this way. Do you then do your tent this way? Personally, I don't, because it would do my head in. But I love the idea. I love the idea. So, yes, I personally don't do that, but Marsha, you can definitely do it if you're disciplined. Because I just think that even with the best intention, I'll probably forget and lose track and start to do my tent, you know, left and right, everywhere. So I just keep it simple. I just follow the direction that's most intuitive to me. And it looks fine so far, I think. It looks good. Plus, I'm not a rule breaker, okay? I'm a rule bender. I'm a mind bender, okay? How's that? I'm a mentalist. Or just mental. Who came up with the term mentalist? The first time I heard it, I was so confused. They're essentially, magicians, really. And then they start to call themselves illusionists or something to make it sound a little bit more interesting. And now some of them call themselves like mentalist. It just sounds like, are you just mental? There. Laura, hello. And Chelsea as well. Chelsea says 3836. Spooky bingo, yay! Sorry, I'm so behind with the chat. All over the place. Yes, spooky bingo, everyone. Nice to have spooky bingo because this piece, there's 0, probably no 310 whatsoever. So our 310 bingo is not happening. Walk away says her second leg pointing this way. Yes, indeed. That's walk away. Yes. Very, very good. So if full cross, you have first leg and second leg, does that mean 10 stitches, one-legged stitch? One-legged stitch. Does that mean you have to hop if you're one-legged? Chelsea says if I'm doing a mix of tent and full, my tent matches the second leg of a full stitch, bottom right to top left. Yes, because it's Chelsea. She's disciplined. I'm not at all. Because if I do that at some point, I'm gonna forget. So my tent is going to go all over the place. So in order to avoid that, I just do everything like the normal order. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. It looks like a fun color to go for. Quite a few stitches here. So let's have a look. It's 3861. 3861. Three, 8, 6, 1. Marsha says, I found it difficult. I think I just do as normal stitch. Thank you so much, Yogi. Yes. When you say normal stitch, are you going to do just full stitch, full cross? You can just do 10 stitch in a sort of like first leg. Just however you do your first leg, you just do it that way. Just keep things simple. Here, so I'm going to start, do a quarter pin. Mini pin. And I have to decide where to go. I'm going to go down here. Laura says it's my first time using Facebook Marketplace, but I should be picking up a dimensions kit later. Hope it works. Today, just out of curiosity, because I just Google dimensions. Dimension. What keywords did I put in? On Google, I just put in I just put in dimensions and dimensions cross stitch, and then what happened. So I want, I just want to kind of figure out what their current situation is. And it's a little bit worrying because apparently, according to the AI or, the Google summary, they're not making new products. Not only they're not making new a range of products, they're not producing new kits, guys. And that means we've only got whatever's there on the market. I don't know how, in terms of the volume of the products they've got, hopefully there's still plenty, but it's going to get more and more rare as the time goes on. So just bear that in mind. I hope, at some point they're going to start producing again, because I've heard the chat mentioning that, but I was hoping that it wasn't correct. But from the look of it, because currently they belong to this company who I don't know what they're going to do with the company, with Dimension. So they're not producing anything at all. And I don't know whether this is going to be the permanent position. If that is, eventually all the Dimensions kits are going to be gold, kind of collector's item or whatever eventually. Particularly certain popular patterns are going to be very hard to find. So if you want to look into their kits, now is probably a very good time, while they're still, quite reasonable in terms of prices. Over here, 3836. 3836. I'm going to introduce another one. 3836. I just think their charts are so special. Lizzie says Yogi Barbosa, a character in Pirates of the Caribbean, said, "Don't think of them as rules, more like guidelines." Like guidelines or suggestions, Lizzie. Yes. Very wise. Flo says, wasn't there a show many years ago called The Mentalist? I never watched it, but yes, I think you're right. And I think it's about sort of mind-bending tricks, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, it's magic, isn't it? They're magicians. Walkaway says, we need a new emoji for one-legged Stitch. I know, because if there are 2 legs for full cross, 10 stitches is a one-legged Stitch. Now it's starting to flow a little bit, because sometimes with color flow, you kind of have to find that spot when things start to kind of just become a bit more effortless. And now it's getting that way. I'm very happy. 1, 2. This one's tricky to find. It's under this one. 1, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. See? It's kind of tricky. One, two. Oh dear. So Facebook Market, is it a little bit like Amazon or something? Or is it craft based or anything goes? I just generally don't use Facebook that much. I only use Facebook for our group. That's it. Two. And I'm going to park under here. It's very tricky. Just look at, it's not just the fact that there are a lot of park threads, but also they're double strand. And not just because they're double strand, they're CXC double strand. So there's a lot of volume there. I do literally feel like a hairdresser. Rachel says, I bought a Dimensions Gold Petite on eBay the other day. Amaryllis. Right, a petite. It's like a really small piece. I always like them large. It was a really small one. I just go, well, give me a larger one. I know. Okay, this one is 3799 a part thread. Yeah, ready? It is like painting, isn't it? Look at this. And Chelsea says, I find dimensions are good price at Hobby Craft. They can vary wildly on Amazon. Indeed, yes. But how long that's going to last, I have no idea. Because if you're buying from proper vendors, the prices are probably fixed. You know, they're not going to inflate the prices based on demand. But on Amazon or eBay, anything goes, really. And I'm going to take it over and do this one. I'll probably end it. I'll probably end this color here. And with the little pin as well, the reverse pin. Try to bury under. Floss Heaven says, I love the Dimension stockings. So sad It might just disappear. Yes, I hope at some point they're going to revive the company, but you know, we have no control over that. If the company stays dormant like this, yes, the kids are going to run out. There's just no other way. I wonder what's going to happen to all the patterns they've got. They've got tons, don't they? Oh, Laura, it's $5? Is it like auction or something? Oh, Janine is home. Yes. Janine says, I'm home now and can chat and keep making my own rules. Yes. New rules of, you know, Thursday this week. What will it be? Have you increased the number of invisible, sort of phantom stitching kits to 40 now? I think the number is increasing, isn't it? 1, 2, 1, 2. I am going to change my part thread colors a little bit darker. Just want them to be a little bit stronger. And over here, it's a whole bunch of part threads. Oh, I want to do this one first. Mandy, hello. Mandy Moran is here. Susan says The Mentalist was a murder mystery show. The main character helps solve murders, etc. by reading unconscious body language. Is that how it came from? I thought The Mentalist was a magic show. But wasn't there, who was this guy? Like Darren Brown or whatever it is. That kind of, you know, people. So Mentalist is actually drama. I have no idea. I don't watch anything. So maybe that's how it came from, where it came from. Because it just sounds cool. 1, 2, and 3 here. Let me just do a little bit of marking here. Lovely. Alison says 10 stitches can be flamingo stitches. Oh, one-legged. That's lovely, Alison. That is totally true. Yes, one-legged and beautiful. That's flamingo stitches. I love it. Indeed. It's one-legged by choice. I'm going to refer to my 10 stitches as flamingo stitch. And Fan Vanas, hello, good evening. It's Norway, isn't it? Oh, Nicolette. Okay, Nicolette. It's Norway, isn't it? If I remember correctly. Or not. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I do my best, okay. Marsha says, just Google dimensions. Garden collectibles, gorgeous. Oh, is it? Is it like I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna have a look, and I'll show you. I'm curious. Dimension is so garden collectible is the name of the pattern, is it? Dimensions. Is it garden collectibles? It sounds cozy already. Ah, let me see if I can show you. It is quite pretty. Look at this. Let me see if I can tap into. Is it this one? That's very sweet. That's very, it's got 10 stitches, a lot, yes, definitely long stitches maybe, all sorts going on, and French knots. Oh, that's very, very dimensions. It's very sweet, very, very sweet, very nice. $5. Bargain, super bargain. Mary Henry says, I'm a Miss Marple fan. Oh, classic. I'm afraid I probably never really seen the proper episode of that. I'm just not very good with watching sort of TV series. I just run out of patience. Oh, super confetti here. Just look at the volume. Just the whole, just this little quarter of a block. I've got about, well, I don't know, 15 part threads. And this is how we roll here with the dry flowers. Okay. Oh, so Susan was watching Mentalist. How long ago was it? Susan says, I enjoyed it. It had a subplot. Because the Mentalist family had been murdered. What? And he was trying to track the murdered down. Susan, so it's the plot that this guy who's a mentalist, obviously, he's got some sort of psychic power, superpower. And he's using the power to track down the murderers of his family. Oh, that sounds like a really sad story. That sounds a little bit sad. Let me just make sure this is the right color. Why does it look darker? Strange. 647, let me check. I just do not trust myself. 647. Oh, it does look a little bit darker. 647. No, I think it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so from this spot, I am going to park it down here. Walkaway says, my Animal Crossing island is named Dimensions. Really? Naming after Dimensions, the company. Oh, that's true love then. Yes. Walkaway loves Dimensions so much. She's naming the Animal Crossing islands. Because normally the name we give, you know, the island is normally something that really resonates with you. I think mine was called, I've got a couple of starts, okay. But I think my original one, I'm trying to remember, maybe something like Yogi Land or something. Yes, how predictable. Oh, I remember playing that game every day for about a month, the entire month, every day. It was during COVID. And then I just got bored of it. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, Susan's got a business idea. She says we should round up our dimensions from our stash and sell them for a lot of money. Yes, well, if you keep those kits in very good condition, let's say if you've got tons, right? You just keep them in their original package. In about 10 years' time, they will probably fetch for fortune, you know. It's like antique roadshow kind of material. Okay, 317. 317 is this color. Marsha says, I don't do kits a lot. I'm wondering if they give plenty of threads, or do you have to conservative in wasting threads? I have to say, I don't know what dimension. I'm sure they give you more than you need, just in case you have some false start, or you know, some people they have a lot of threads at the back, depending on how they stitch it. I don't think you'll run out if you're not doing anything unusual. Next one. 1, 2. No, Jeanine? Jeanine says, I've never done a dimensions kit. Really, Jeanine? You've got like, God knows how many projects now. Really? I am shocked. I think it's time that you do something about it. Three, 740. 3, 740. Stargazer, hello. One stitch and over here. And Ring is saying hello from work club. Yes. We salute to you. Oh, Netherlands. Sorry, not Norway. Van Vanas. Sincere apologies. Netherlands. There was someone from Norway recently, I remember. I can't remember who it was. Nice. Six, 4, 5. Not that one, Laura. No, sorry, I only read your comment. Is it not that one? But that one is called Garden Collection. So which one is it then? Has Google lied to me? Okay, I'm gonna end this thread. Brittany has done 450 today. That's a lot. Well done. Susan, what are you talking about? Hi, Daria. Daria says, good morning and evening, Yogi and friends. Yes. Floss Haven says, I play Animal Crossing every day for about a year. Really? Oh, for some reason, I hit a wall on the 30th day. And I looked at the calendar as well. It was precisely 30. I think I generally just hit a wall if I play a game for that long. And it was real time day and night cycle, isn't it? Is, you know, if you've never played Animal Crossing before, basically it's kind of a live simulation slow game and kind of cozy game kind of category. And when you go in world, the time matches the time, the real time. So for instance, it's 10:08, 8 past 10 at the moment. When you go in world, it's the same time. Not only that, it matches the season as well. So if you're in Europe, for instance, it's spring. I'm optimistic. Maybe still winter, and in game as well, it's winter. So everything's seasonal. But if you're in Australia at this time, everything's hot. So it matches the real world in time and season, and things things change throughout the seasons. And it's a bit frustrating because the shop opening time as well in Animal Crossing also matches a real world. So if you go in, if you only have time to play in the evening, for instance, all the shops are closed. You know, they close at a certain time, and you can't buy stuff because shops are closed, and you have to wait till morning for the shops to open, so on and so forth. Oh, Floss, you're trying to get back to the game. I thought about it, but I just couldn't. I just haven't got the motivation to get back. Yes, there's an update. I think you can have a hotel or something. Sarah says I've never planning Animal Crossing. Oh, playing, do you mean? Yes. It's you need to be in a certain mind frame because there's no real story. You kind of make your own stories, and there's no plot, but there are things you could do. A lot of things you could do. And this one, just one stitch. I'm gonna end it. Oh, 310. Look at this. I was saying there's no 310. There's a 310 right here, but only one stitch. I think 310 here literally just dotted around few places. That's it. There is 310, this one. Spooky bingo everywhere. One stitch. Very short spooky bingo. So literally one stitch, I'm going to end it. Oh, I cannot believe it. There is 310 in this piece. Trying to do a pin. Oh, Susan is having 310 spooky bingo because Susan is stitching the sampler in 310, I bet. So whenever I do 310, automatically is spooky bingo for Susan. See you, Lizzie. Yes, I'll see you on Saturday. And I will give out notice on the day to see if we're doing members stream. I think we probably will, but just in case, because it's possible I might need to cover for somebody, I'll give it a sort of update. If I'm free to do the members stream, I'm thinking about doing a one of my samplers. I've got this piece from Mana Redwood. What? Manus Wood. Manus Wood. Is it? I should know by now. You know what I mean. I've got a pattern I'd like to work on a little bit more. So if we're doing members stream, I'm going to be working on the sampler. So either we can make it a samplers stream together, or a side quest, whichever. And I'll let you know on the day whether I'm able to do it. Janine says, these part threads, they would drive me crazy. I did give out a trigger warning. If you're allergic to part threads, you know, this is actually organized chaos. Okay, I know where everything is, and I know why they're there. But yes, if you're not a parking person, this could look pretty intense. I love it. I'm a hairdresser. Oh, this bit is a little bit tricky. Why don't I park it here? Walkaway says they say the dimensions made in China give you more threads than older kids do. Oh, I don't know where they're made normally. Do they tell you on the package? I wonder. River says, do all dimensions have back stitching? I don't think so. I think gold collections probably do, most of them, because they're more complex in terms of how they're charted. But they have a lot of just pure back stitch, not back stitching, pure cross stitches patterns, I think. I think all my dimensions kits, maybe bar one or two, they're all from gold collection because I just love them. They're bigger and fuller covered, you know, sort of more sort of full coverage pieces, and they incorporate different types of stitches. Oh, Floss. Okay. Floss Haven is from Norway. Yes, I knew somebody was from Norway. Badell as well. Yes, that's correct. Thank you for that. Yes, Badell is from Norway as well. Yes, I trying to keep track on where everybody is. Right, so Floss's tip is, Yogi, just change the time on your switch and you can shop and nuke at any time of day. But I don't want to do that, Floss. It kind of breaks in the kind of immersion, isn't it? It's like I want to just, you know, pretend that's the real world. So sometimes I have to, you know, go in game a little bit earlier in order to buy stuff. I know I can cheat, but I don't want to. Nice. Let me move over here. And this color is 613. It's quite pale. 613. Walkaway says, I have completed a Dimensions Gold Petite called Cozy Cub. That's the only one. And when they say petite, how petite is it? Are we talking about like tiny, tiny, pocket size? Hey, Heather. Heather Howe says hello. Susan says they're probably going to be 310 around the stove. Oh, but that could be just shades of grey. It doesn't have to be. Maybe a few stitches. It looks more blue and grey to me. But 310 stitches definitely exist, but very few so far. And this one has only got 2 stitches, just 2. I think 5x5 gridding is definitely helping with this pattern. And 453. 453. See you later, Lizzie. Rosewood Manor, yes. Oh, I just cannot get my head around. Rosewood Manor. Yes. If we're doing a members stream this Saturday, I'll be working on one of their patterns. Yeti says, what count is this fabric? It's 22. 22. And I'm stitching 2 over 1, 10 stitches. Yes, 22 feels very much very close to 25, but you can still feel like, you know, you can clearly see where the stitches would go. Whereas if you move up to 25, instantly it goes into kind of really evenly woven kind of pattern. And that's when, if you're new to even weave, it can be a little bit challenging. But I think 22 is kind of close enough, but you can still clearly see where the stitches should go. So I think it's a very, very good fabric count to work with. Betty says all I've stitched has back stitch. Oh, from Dimensions. So even the non-Gold Collection ones. Yes, majority of my Dimensions kits, they're all from Gold Collection because I just love them. And this one's 452, so I'm switching colors quite fast because it's very, very comfy around this area. And Fan Vanna says, I embroidered Dimensions Woodland Winter. It was a joy. Oh, I bet. One, two. One, two, one, two. And here. I know it looks chaotic. It's not. It's got a certain order to it. Oh, River, backstitching is so much fun. Do not be scared, because it's really good fun. Just one stitch, this one. Amanda says, if you do a sampler for members Saturday, that meant I've got to start a new sampler. Amanda, that's the spirit, you know. I give you different challenges every single week. Just throw a topic out there and you have to come join me, you know. Yes, so this Saturday I'm doing a sampler. Last week, oh, it seems like so long ago. It's so strange. Last week I did needlepoint. I did a cupcake needlepoint. 613, 613. Clara says 5 by 7 inches Yogi for dimensions petite. Petite. And what fabric count then? Are we talking 16, 18 fabric count? Lynn, you're not falling asleep on Yogi. Lynn, look at this, guys. Look at what I have to put up with from Lynn. Yes, that's a long snooze, Lynn. I hope you enjoyed your power nap. Yes. Oh, seriously, just getting worse. Oh, so Janine's going to a birthday thing, is it? Are you, Janine? Are you heading to the cruise tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? Wow. And how long is the cruise again? Remind me. Is it like 10 days or something? Well, enjoy it. I hope you're not gonna get any, sickness or anything. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. And Marsha is going on a cruise as well. It's really popular. Cruises. So no one is suffering from seasickness. Let me park over here. There. It's a little bit far, but never mind. Walkaway says, when I do back stitching, I like to use an embroidery needle, not a tapestry needle, and have a sharp point and makes the back stitching very sharp and accurate. Yeah, I suppose that's one way of doing it. Or you can down one size, right? So if I stitch 14 counts, normally with 26, for back stitching, I would switch to 28. It's just easier to get through. But I do like the round tip because it's just easier not to kind of come up through the fabric. You know, you want to find the corners. And also, last time when I was doing my back stitching, I run into problems because there was one line that's running through about 6 stitches within a single row, if that makes sense. So that diagonal line is not corner to corner. It's basically running through about 4 to 5 stitches within the same row. And I didn't know how to do it because I don't want to carry the thread over 6 stitches. I don't like having threads kind of floating on top. So I was trying to find solutions, tutorials for that. It's a little bit tricky, that one. So I'm stitching 3/8, 3/6. See you later, River. Clara says normally 18 counts. Oh, for the petite. Okay. Lynn says Yogi Kumari is back. I didn't notice there's a new session, but I have not watched it. I'm too scared. Too scared to find out how far she's gone. So she's not cleaning this time, is she? Live cleaning session with Kumari. No sound? Really? Guys, do you have sound? Whoops. Hang on a second. Lynn, if there's no sound, refresh the browser. So Ring says, I have sound. And it looks fine from my end. So maybe refresh it. But if Lynn can't hear me, she's not going to hear the instruction. So any glitches, see if you can refresh the browser. It will be fine. A walk away as well. Is it better? Yes? So sometimes YouTube glitches. Is it chocolate time? Yes, is that time of the night already? Oh, today. Oh, my goodness. The chocolate time. I'll try not to stain the fabric, okay? I'll do my best. I'll do my best. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let me park it here. All right then. Let's take a little break and let me show you what's happening here on my parking party. It's like a party here. It's a festival. The festival here. Let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. It doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, you know, I think the fact that they're the threads are CXC probably has something to do with it, and also, you know, double strand, so double the volume. But it's not bad at all. Chocolate time. Excellent. So everyone, Scantist, hello, says just close the stream and reopen. Yes, it helps a lot. If it's glitching, if you're not sure whether it's me or you, then restart. And if you restart, still no sound, it's probably me. Ah, Betty says you buffered, then bend a few times. Yeah, sometimes the internet or YouTube can play up a little bit. Susan says, move your fabric away. What do you mean? Oh, you mean away from the chocolate? It's okay. Today I'll be very, very careful. Okay, I'll be very, very mindful. Just to let you appreciate what's happening on my fabric here. I know when it's zoomed in, it looks really kind of slightly overwhelming. But if you zoom out, it's beautiful. Everything is in order. Look at this. Gorgeous. Okay, chocolate time. Guys, I've got a pack of new chocolate, okay? Oh, Flaw says, my comment disappearing. Do not say that. I don't want to communicate with the emoji again. It might happen again. Dun, dun, dun. Can you hear the sound effect? Yes, Black Forest is back to my life. And I've got 2 packs, okay? His and hers. So this one is not going to get stolen. I'm watching, you know, I'm watching this pack. So, yes, today is a new pack unboxing. Unboxing the new pack of chocolate. Black Forest from Montezuma's. Again, one more time. Once again, free adverts for the company. Seriously, get in touch. Get in touch. And supply Yogi and a chat free chocolate. Free chocolate to everyone. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Can you hear the noise? Not the most elegant unboxing, okay? I'm just tearing the package apart. This is not Apple product unboxing. And seriously, I've mentioned many times, I much prefer the tin foil, okay? I'm not a big fan of this one. What? Floss Haven says Dimensions are releasing new kits in 2026. Is that true? Is that true? Susan, are we having a Black Forest spooky bingo? Are we? Yes, Susan. Susan is having the same chocolate as me. I mean, Susan is inspiration because I had this one before a couple of times, but, you know, hadn't had it for ages. And Susan started having it and I got envious and got a pack as well. I love it. I love it. So where are my scissors? Let's have a look. Where are they? Here. And is it true? Floss Haven. Where did you see it? And Elsie says, that's so pretty, Yogi. I know, and my whip isn't so bad either. Okay, I'm trying not to, drop any chocolate crumbs. Because good chocolate, it just melts instantly. So I'm going to snap, okay? Oh, listen to that sound. One more time. Oh, there. Let me just break a few pieces here. This is really good, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. 70% cacao. Cheers, everyone. Black Forest. And cheers, Susan. And okay. Flo says there is a thread on Reddit showing pictures of a catalog of kits releasing this year. Really? Oh, Reddit is full of rumors. Do you think it's real or is it hoax? I don't want to be disappointed. Delicious. Lynn says, Yogi, the sound keeps going. I can't see anything wrong on this end, though. It looks fine. Guys, is the sound stable? Let me know. It seems normal on my end. It looks normal. The sound is normal. Oops. Yes, Susan, spooky Black Forest bingo. Indeed. It's a mouthful, but it's worth it. We have one more piece. Cheers. Brittany says, can you go over your master set setup, supplies to make it? I use the floss drops for separate kits, but want to slowly compile and switch to master set. Yes, of course. Now is probably a good time. Let me zoom out a little bit. So sound is okay. Okay, so this is my master set. Okay, I know it looks a little bit messy, isn't it? But so this one is for CXC, so it's quite a little bit bulkier than my DMC one, but simple. They kind of work the same way. So what I've got here, I basically just print out thread cards like this one. Let me just move my move this away. It's probably easier this way. Let me show you this one. So this is how I work in terms of thread organization. So these are thread cards that I printed out and laminated, so it's stronger. You don't have to. You can just use cardboard. And I stick a piece of felt on top of each card. So I just fold the felt over and just use fabric glue, and it stays really stable. And basically, and this is a new version, so I've got all the numbers already populated, so they just get printed out. My previous version, I actually manually wrote the numbers, but these ones already have the numbers as part of the templates. Okay, and I just use a puncher. I'm trying to find it on my. It's quite common. So the size of the holes, these ones are 1 centimeter. So I use something like this, and just follow the template. So the template comes with all the circles, and you can just punch them individually. It takes a little bit of elbow grease. You know, you do have to go through all the cards and punch the holes, but it actually it doesn't take a lot of time. And you just do it as part of your, preparation for your set. And once all the thread cards are ready, I load all the threads that I want. Not everything's loaded, not all the numbers. I just top up as I need it. So some of them I never, I don't need them so far. So they're just left empty. And then once I've got everything loaded, I use something like, this is a flexible version. This is like a flexible ring that you can get, and you can attach multiple ones to make them the right size for you. Let me show you my DMC set as well. So this one is my DMC set. So I just happen to have these metal keyring thingy. I've got two of them, and I just bund together. So the DMC, it's got DMC, so I can clearly see which set is for which. But as far as template goes, they're identical. So the DMC numbers, DMC set has got more numbers, because CXC I haven't got. I'm trying to think. No, I do reserve the first 35, but I do not have the CXC version. But generally, they work following the same principle. And then I put a bag underneath. So this is idea borrowed from Stitching Masterpieces. She's really clever, and she came up with this idea. Just use a Ziploc bag, and I just tape the bag here. This one as well. Let me see. Yes, this one is a little bit more organized. I just put fold over. I like the bottom to be open, so I can put my hands in and then just work everything through. If I open the bottom, basically I can just run through the threads and tidy them up. But otherwise, the bags are there for protection, really. So yes, and the templates, you can download the templates, because I created the templates for myself. So I share with all the Facebook members, and there's a link there. If you join our Facebook group, I don't know whether you're a member already, you can just download it. And if you have a printer, you just print them out. And you can have the full set, and quite cheaply, because basically some cardboard, some felt. This is optional. If you don't want to have the felt, you don't have to have the felt. I like to use it as, to dot my needles or dot my threads. And then you have the full set, and it's quite compact as well. This is a full set of DMC. Okay, and you just flip the cards through like a book and find the number you want, and that's it. Really simple. It works. It's kind of stood the test of time. I've been using kind of a system like this for quite a few years now. So there you go. So let me move this away and move my canvas back. So hopefully that helps. And you can download the template for free if you're a Facebook member. And a Scantist says, I'm making up my thread cards right now. Thank you so much for the printout. Oh, did you download it as well? Well done. Yes, it's free for you, because I designed it for my own use. So I'm happy, very happy to share. And if you have the cards laminated, seriously, they probably last you for years. Because my last version, my last set, I didn't laminate the cardboard. They still last me a good, 2 years, 2.5 years of daily use. So it's very, very durable. Let me take one more chocolate, and I'm going to get back to stitching. There you go. Lynn says, Yogi unvinted today. There was DMC chest and some threads for £100. What's vinted? Is it like a website? When you say DMC chest, are you talking about the drawers that I've got? For £100? Really? With threads? And some threads. Okay. So it's a chest. It's a drawers and some threads. I don't know what vintage is. Flo says, do you have just one plastic bag for the entire set of threads? Yes. They should fit in. Even the entire set of CXC as well. Look, this is entire set of CXC. Not with every single color, okay? Just the ones I need for all my projects, and one single bag. All right. So with the bag, you can just have the bag and just pull a thread, all the threads in. The purpose is to keep the threads clean and just protect the threads in general. But I like to cut the bottom open because then I can just put my hands in and just give it a tidy up from time to time. You don't have to. All right. Here we go. Oops. And I think I was here before the chocolate time. There. All right then, how do I do this one? I can start a new thread. 452. 452. Okay. Lynn says Vinted is a selling and buying website. Right. So for the chest by itself, I don't know how much they normally go for. And also when they say some DMC, I don't know what they mean by that. Like how much is some? But that sounds, yes, if it's in good condition, that's quite nice. There. Okay, so this one is 318. 318. and 3A36. So 1, 2. Two stitches here, and I can part down. So 1, 2. I think 2 strand with CXC, it just feels like it's got that sort of knitted kind of texture to it. It's really nice. It's kind of fluffy, quite soft, and a lot of volume. And then I'm going to poke it here. 1, 2. Yeah. I think, color flow is such that the more you do it, the quicker you're able to identify which one to go for next. Because in the beginning, if you never done Gemma's method or color flow before, you're probably spending fair bit of time trying to figure out where to go next. But after a while, it kind of becomes intuitive. But the thing is, if you don't do it for a little while, like I was doing a lot of color flow in the beginning of the year, and then kind of, switch to other methods for a little bit, coming back to it, it does require a little bit time to kind of just warm up the brain, just to get your brain to work this way. But once you start to get that flowing, you start to kind of just, you don't have to think about it. You kind of just go, okay, I've done this stitch. You look around, okay, I'm going to move to the other one. It gets easier. Why does it, hang on, that color doesn't look right. That's not the right color. 5, 2, 4. Why does it look different? Never mind. Yes, hopefully that was helpful, Brittany. And it's important to get your kind of your working thread, in terms of how you organize your threads in a way that works for you, because otherwise, if you just feel like you're constantly kind of fighting with the system, so to speak. Because before I started using thread cards, I was in the very beginning when I was doing dimensions, I was bobbinating everything because that was the only method I knew. No one told me that you could have, other system. And then a little bit after that, I discovered Parker? Parco, yes. I discovered those thread organizers, and they kind of worked up to a certain point because with dimensions, most kits probably have up to, I don't know, 30, 40 colors, something like that, no more. So with Parco, you can just have one or two and that would take care of it. But as the number of projects grew, became sort of harder to organize things. And I ended up having probably about 12 different Parco organizers. And I still have them. I don't use them anymore because thread cards just so much easier. But I didn't realize that I could create something like a master set until much later. I just didn't know. Hi, Busy Mum. Busy Mum says, I'm working on The Marvelous Circus Max Color by Amy Stewart. Wow. Janine. Oh, Janine is gone, but Janine was working on that one as well. I have not heard about that piece for a little bit. Yes, that's a beautiful piece. And that piece reminds me of Candy Shop as well, the Amy Stewart Candy Shop. Lefty Gemini says I'm a bobbinator. Yes, I think some people like it. I find it very labor intensive. And also it's got, you have to release the threads and it's got kinks to it and you have to cut them a certain length. Yes, it just got really difficult. But I didn't know. I could just use thread cards like that. $169. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take it over here. Walkaway says I bought a vintage silverware chest for my floss storage. It has 5 large compartments. I line them and make dividers myself. It was fun. Yes, potentially if you have, because if you look at the DMC drawers, essentially, yes, there are just multiple drawers that you can, have place dividers in between, and you can just pop all the threads based on numbers, and that's it. 1, 2, 3. And I was, I'm actually quite surprised how well the DMC drawers work, because the drawers actually comes with sort of extra dividers that you can, you can use all of them or you can use less, depends on how you organize your thread. And so far, I haven't, needed to do anything really, and it's very easy to find colors. Okay, 3041. Tamara says I use a hanging file system. I cut the hanging files and cut the quarter inch holes around them and put them into hanging file container. That's what I want, Tamara. Not as a master set that I work with, but I want something like that for to store my CXC. And I keep talking about it. I haven't done it. I need to buy the filing system, because I saw Nikki did that and it's working quite well, even though she's using it as a working set. But I want it as a storage for the spare CXC. I think it's going to work quite well, because currently to find my CXC numbers, it's a little bit of a pain because I put everything in bags, and that's not ideal. There. I think it's starting to flow a little bit more. There. Laura is a bobbinator as well. Interesting. But do you not find it's quite labor intensive to have to find the bobbins you need and then unwrap everything and then wrap it back? And where do you put the remaining sort of leftover threads? So there, for instance, you pull out one bit, it's got 6 strands, you pull out 1 or 2, right? Depends on what you're working on. And you have to wrap the remaining bit back as well. There's a lot of work. Whereas with the thread cards, you just find the color, pull out a strand, and that's it. You just pop it back. Imagine if you're working on a confetti area. That's going to be quite a lot to do. Where do I go next? Here? Two. And 3. 1, 2. Where am I exactly? Why is it like this? Oh, here. Hang on. Yes, I got it. Okay. Hi, Travis. Hello, hello. How's the Pokemon going? Oh, Clara as well. We've got quite a few Bobinators here. How many Terminators then? Clara says I'm a Bobinator as well, and I find they work really well for me. I have both of my master set in bobbins. Well, maybe I was doing something wrong there, but I just found it so hard. And Rachel as well. Wow. Lynn, DMC is French. DMC is French. And Lefty says I use bobbins and a small sectioned case. Yes. I think if it works for you, it probably doesn't matter what it is, right? And I'm going to do one over here. And then come over here. 1, 2. Tamara says leftover threads. I have 2 containers by numbers in plastic bags. So are you putting individual numbers, well, individual threads of different numbers? 2 containers. I'd love to see what that looks like, Tamara. I don't know whether you are you're part of our Facebook group, but if you could post your system, I'll be interested in seeing. Rachel says I cut a length off and loop it around the hole in the top of the bobbin. Oh yes, they do have holes, don't they? Sometimes 2. And I keep them in clear plastic fishing tackle boxes. Wow. Yeah, but it's the fact that with leftover threads, sometimes quite short, and you still have to perform that, action in order to wrap the sort of leftover thread. Yeah, if you enjoy it, maybe it's quite, enjoyable to do as well. Then, and that's just perfect. 415. I just don't enjoy it. I think it was okay when I was doing sort of Dimensions kit. There are not that many colors, but as the number grew, it just stopped working. Okay, there's 1 stitch here. And then one stitch. Oh, Travis is part of a work club right now. Yes, and Travis is on supper break. Oh, enjoy your supper. And I hope the back is recovered completely. One, two, one, two. One, two. Susan's is using bobbins as well. Interesting. It's more popular than I thought. And I'm trying to remember what Gemma does from Gemma Stitches. I think she talked through that once upon a time, but I don't know whether it's still the same way that she does it. She organized all the colors for each project. I mean, you know, she's a single project person. So let's say 90 colors. That's probably not too bad. She puts individual colors into envelopes. So we're talking about 90, maybe 90 different envelopes. And hang on. Oh, I put this one incorrectly. Okay, so I don't know what this one is. So she's got, I presume she probably has like 90 different envelopes with numbers on. I don't know whether she's got a master set. She just pull out the one she needs. Maybe that's what she does. Maybe she's got like 500 envelopes and she just, you know, she just takes out the one she needs. What color is this? What is mysterious? It's this one, I bet. I have no idea what color this one is. Let me figure it out. Okay, so that one, two. I don't know what this one is. Lost track. Yes, so she's got a lot of envelopes organized in boxes, at least the last time I saw. That's what she was doing. And she just take you know, one envelope at a time, take out the threads, and then pop the remaining leftover bits if she has. I'm trying to recall. I think she just put them back into the envelopes, and she will use the smaller pieces for fewer stitches, you know. And that's a very interesting way to organize threads. I mean, everything she does is unique. Oh, Daria as well. I think the chat is mostly bobbinators. Laura says, I have my master box of bobbins. I visit my parents a lot, so it's easier to pull the threads I need to a smaller box and go. Well, I suppose I can probably take my master sets and pop in the bag. It's not very difficult at all. Tracy says I made my own fabric book system. I made a bag out of a Annie pattern. Then I attach the split rings with bobbins sewn into the case, and I use floss drops on the rings. Well, Tracy, we need to look at a picture, don't we? Would you please post something? That sounds interesting. Yes, Tamara as well. It's easier than 1,000 words. Yes, I'm trying to visualize what it looks like. All right, let's have a look. What have I got here? So a few stitches here I want to do. Laura says I do have plastic organizers or some projects and stamp kits. Chiviz, hello. Lynn says Yogi DMC was founded in 1746. Really? That's a while ago. $17.46. Walkaway says I store on bobbin, but don't work from them. I put 1 or 2 strands on floss cards. Oh, so you use both. So you use bobbins for storage and then use floss cards for actually working. Yes, you can have sort of a combination of things, isn't it? Amanda says I keep my floss in scan, but I don't think wrapping leftover floss around the scan is any harder than reattaching to an organizer or storing the thread and needle. Really? Because when I finish stitching, let me just show you. When I finish stitching, if I have leftover thread, I just insert my needle through the felt and that's done. It's like 1/4 of a second. And when I need it, I just pull it out like that, and I'm good to go. And for picking threads, literally, just tease one strand out, pull it out, and that's it. So there's no unwrapping, wrapping, or anything like that. But then again, I think if it works for the stitcher, the method that you kind of enjoy most is the best method. Oh, Tamara has posted it already. Hang on, let's have a look. So let me try to recall what Tamara. Okay, let's have a look. We can have a look together. It's interesting, isn't it? So this is Tamara's system, and she says, here's my master set system and containers by number for the smaller threads and the suits beside on what? Sorry, on the couch. All right, so you just prop the whole lot, the entire box, on the armchair. Interesting. Okay, so this is actually a little bit similar to Gemma's system. I don't think she uses thread cards as such, but she pops everything into an envelope. And in your case, it's a little plastic bag, same thing. And then she probably has some sort of marking to divide. I think she probably has individual boxes, or, for a range of numbers. And she just take them out, find them, and take them out, open it, and take the threads out. So it's kind of similar. So you're using a combination of things. Interesting. So these are your working threads, right? And is it a master set? Looks like it's a master set. But the thing is though, if you put the bags back, you have to make sure that you're kind of placing it back in the right order. Otherwise, you're gonna, you probably find it harder to find next time. So it does feel like it's a lot of work. So, but I think if you're actually quite used to it, then I just find thread cards a lot easier. Oh, we've got another one. Lefty Gemini has posted her system. Oh, that's so organized. That's so organized. But where do you put your leftover threads? Let me just zoom out a little bit. Where do you put your leftover threads? So this is your working set, right? And it doesn't look like that many colors. So is it based on projects? Let me look at the chat as well. Amanda says it saves so much time not to wind or cut flaws for bobbins or organizers by using full scan, which are designed to pull threads out from work. Yes, you can. I suppose you could do that. So you have 6 strands at a time, but you still need to store the remaining threads. And see you later, Chelsea. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's really interesting on how everybody organizes threads. And it probably evolves as well because, I gradually kind of change bits and pieces, modify. Lynn says, Yogi, does Apple iPad any good for digital charting? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like markup apps, or do you mean actually charting charts? If you're talking about charting, I have no idea. I've never tried to chart anything. I think most designers probably use software on their PC rather than tablets. I'm not sure. Maybe the chat knows. And Dennis says Gemma has a master set in envelopes. I think she pulls out the envelopes she needs based on the section she's working on. Yes, I remember that video. It was quite a few years ago. And similar to what we just saw with the plastic bags, I think Gemma is using paper envelopes. And sorry, I just had a sip of coffee. And Dennis says she also has a working tray to place her smaller pieces as well. Oh, so that bit, I was kind of wondering where she put her leftover threads. So she's got a separate tray for that. But then again, Gemma is working on one project at a time pretty much. So, in terms of the volume of the number of threads, is a little bit more manageable, I have to say. Because when you were talking about master set, we're talking about hundreds of colors. So thank you, Dennis. Rachel says, I try the envelopes after about 5 paper cuts. Move on. But also, yes, I just think, because even if you store all the envelopes in order, when you take something out, when you put it back in, if you place in the wrong order, it just, it can be confusing later on. Right. Let me see where I want to go next. I think it's going quite well. Look at this bit. This bit is completely new. The purpley bit. That looks nice. Let me see. All right then. 3836. 3836. Three A 36. And Amanda says I usually stitch all 6 strands of floss in one setting and don't have leftover to store. For someone who doesn't do this, I can see how it would cause issues. So does that mean Amanda is doing color completion or completion-ish within an area? So what happens? So eventually, Amanda, you're going to run into stitches that's got 2 stitches, like confetti area. Then what do you do? I suppose if you're doing color completion of a larger area at a time, you probably have less color changes, right? 1, 2. Where am I here? I can't even find the location. That's how bad it is. Okay, I found it, I think. 2 over here. 2, 1. Yes. I love loop start. So easy. And Jan's World of Stitches. Hello. I haven't seen you for a bit, Jan. How are you? Welcome. Um, 1, 2. Anna says, Anna T says floss cards or drops and pulling a single thread from top was a game changer for me. Yes, exactly. I didn't know I could do that because I was kind of taught to babinate everything when I learned cross stitching. So that was kind of the only organization that I knew of. And then I learned that you could do you can use systems like what was it, Parco type of threads. But it was a little bit different because it was kind of depending on the device, that tool itself, for the foam to sandwich to kind of, you know, keep the thread together. If you know parkour, you know what I mean. And someone, I saw a floss tube channel showing demonstrating how to pull the thread out, and it blew my mind. I didn't know you could do that. It just seems so simple. So I've been doing that ever since. Okay, so we're talking about here 414, 414. Jan says, I'm doing good, been busy with work, so I haven't been here. Yes, good to see you. And work can be very busy sometimes. Life can be, you know, can have a lot going on there, but make sure you have time for yourself. Okay, let's have a look. Where am I here? 1, 2. It doesn't look like very sort of, you know, quite a long distance, but it can be a little bit overwhelming because there's so many color changes. There. Amanda says, I posted my floss system in a group, but it's very close to the other you show. Let's have a look then. So Amanda's system is, did someone posted a chest? Oh, walk away, Rennie. Hang on, that's gorgeous. Let's have a look. Let's look at the which one is that? Amanda's system first. So Amanda's system is something like this. Envelopes. Oh, so very similar to, was it Tamara's system? So you're using both thread cards and envelopes. So envelopes are quite popular. So when you pull it back, you have to put it back in the right order, I suppose. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find it. And let's look at this. I used to do this as well on the braiding. Yes, and eventually I found it's quite hard to pull the thread out, so I just leave them loose. But yes, I did this at one point. And let's have a look at Walkaway's chest. Look at this, guys. That's very fancy. That's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. And when you open the drawers, so did you have to pull the dividers yourself? Because it's matching completely, or is it part? Is the drawers designed to do this? That's gorgeous. That's beautiful. And there's one more. And that's so organized. But the thing is, though, this is not working set, right? This is storage, because you have to go and open the drawers for everything. Yes, but that's gorgeous. That's really pretty. Thank you for posting it. That's very pretty. So Amanda, does that mean when you're working on a piece, you just have the envelopes, right? You don't have the thread cards necessarily, because that's more for storage. Okay. Lindsay's got all my floss on cards in order in a large plastic box on cards. Okay, so Lynn is using thread cards and they're placed in a large plastic box. One day my partner locked it off the chair arm. Knocked it off the chair arm. Oh, does that mean they just fly everywhere? So they're not bind together. This is why binding the cards is a very good idea. I just use it like a book. Walkaway says, I took the original lining out of the drawers and did it all myself. Wow. So you put the dividers in yourself, but it fits so well. It's just perfect for all the bobbins equally in different roles. That's impressive. That's very pretty. Wow. So walk away, measure and create the dividers. Very handy. Very handy indeed. Walk away. Amanda says, I actually take the floss out of the envelopes and keep it in my project bag because I carry all my projects around. I don't stitch in one place. So you pick out the thread numbers you need for each project. Is that how you do it? And then you have to put them back though in the correct order. And Amanda, I don't know how many projects you've got. That sounds quite labor intensive. Elsie says, Frog is visiting my house, going to have a nap. Guys, so this is Elsie's solution, okay? If you have to frog, just take a nap. That's it. And Elsie, when you wake up, all the stitches will be frogged, okay? It's automatic. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. 3041. Amanda says, not until the end of the project. It could take years. I have more than 40 projects. So with envelopes, so you're not carrying the whole set with you when you work. So let's say all the envelopes are the thread numbers for all your projects, 40 of them. So kind of a master set, right? And are you saying you take out the ones you need? I think that's the bit I got a little bit confused. Laura is showing the chest, the drawers to the husband. Is that a very gentle hint for him to make one for you or to get one for you. But Laura's husband is quite handy, isn't he? If I remember correctly. He can build one. He can make one for you. Susan, okay, Susan, very good point. Susan says, for 2,000 stitches, how long would you nap be? That wouldn't be a nap. That would be eternal rest. I'll be sleeping for a long time. I'll be sleeping, beauty, whatever it is. Sleeping yogi. Yes, that would be a long, long slumber, I'm afraid. I'll probably never wake up because I'll probably wake up and it's still not frogged. It's called sleeping method, okay? It's a special way of frogging your project. I'm gonna end this thread actually. So Amanda, you take the ones that you need for a given project, and once you're done with your session, you pop everything back. Is that what you do? Whoa. Because you've got 40 projects, so I suppose they need different threads. Wow, well done, walkaway. That's such a perfect piece of furniture for your flowers. That's beautiful. Three eight, 3 6. Yes, Amanda. Yes, please. Post more pictures. I love seeing Stitchers organizations because it's a reflection of the personality, isn't it? Because we're all different. And some, I love my thread cards, but some people love bobbins and some people love envelopes. It's so interesting. And we're all convinced that our system is the best. I love that. Because it works. If it works for you, it's the best. Laura says, I keep trying to get the husband to start framing, but it's a no-go. I think his eyes usually glaze over when I talk about stitching. But making a piece of furniture is a very manly thing, isn't it? It's a very blokey thing. They love making, like, stuff. Oh dear, what is going on here? This is not the right part thread. Where am I exactly? Here. 2, 1, 2. Oh, I see, Amanda. So the envelopes are so you create different sets for different projects. Wow, that's a lot though. So if you have 40 projects, I don't know how many of them are active. You have to create so Amanda is so that's not master set as such. You probably have master set as storage, but you create individual sets for each project. That's a lot. And Busy Mom has posted her bobbin system. Let's have a look. Let's find out how Busy Mom organized. Oh, this is very fancy. Hang on. There you go. This is Busy Mom's system. Let me look at the wording there. The set on the bobbin. Oh, this is the needle bore, is it? So this is the bobbin. Has it is it a master set? Has it got everything, all the colors you need? And on the top, that looks very familiar. That looks like the needleboard. Right, so it's a nice hack actually, Busy Mom. You just printed out strips. Yes. And dock your needles on the numbers there. Very, very nice. And so 3 drawers. Wow. Yes. So leftover threads, you pop them on the needleboard, but in order to find the threads you want, right, you have to take out a piece of 6 strands, and then let's say if you take out 1 strand, what happens? What happens to the 5 strands? Do you wrap the whole thing back? And that looks very organized. All the numbers. Oh, so this is when the drawers open. Wow, that's a master set for sure. Yes. So whatever's left over, you have to wrap it back. Yes, that's the thing, Laura. With drawers like that, if you ever take it out and if you knock it over, it's game over. You have to spend the next 2 hours trying to put it back. I don't have that problem, with my system. Everything's buying together. Okay, so where am I exactly? Here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right, Busy Mom says I wrap the 5 strands back. So this is where this is where it breaks for me. I think it's great that it works for if you love bobbins, you probably enjoy that, experience of wrapping your threads. I never liked it. I just found it so tedious. So when I discovered thread cards, I was overjoyed. So every time you take a strand out, you have to wrap the remaining strands back. No, so the bobbins, the cards I used, they were cardboard ones as well, the ones I used. So they're ones that, you can buy like 100 of them at a time. I still have a lot of threads that wrapped around bobbins. They're probably from Dimensions kit, from way back. I still have tons, boxes of them. One, two. What color is this? Purple. I think I docked this one by mistake. Levdi says, I'm enjoying seeing how others wrangle their stitchy things. Same here. It's fascinating because, those things are so organic, isn't it? And every stitcher kind of modify in order to make it work for them. And it's interesting. There are a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences. It's fascinating. One, two. Tamara says, my master set is my working set for all my whips. Okay. Each baggie is numbered with a marker so they don't get confused. I just pull one thread from the master set and pop everything back in. So within that system, with all the baggies, you do have to order them in a correct order, or do you just kind of roughly group them within that box, because in my brain I'm coming to thinking it's quite a lot of work to work out. You know, if you pull out an envelope and you need to put it back precisely in the same spot, otherwise the order is gonna get mixed up, and that's a lot of work. All right, 3041, 3041. Amanda says, I put leftover dimensions floss on floss drops. I think every type of floss sort of has a separate system. I collect floss. I have a lot. Yeah, same here. I do have separate set for DMC and CXC, and all the leftover threads from Dimensions kits, which I have a lot. I have boxes and boxes of them, and they're still in bobbins, so I have not touched them for ages now, because I don't use those threads. Because at some point, for some reason, I don't know why it makes sense in my mind, I just consolidated all my dimensions threads together. I don't know why I did that, because now I don't know which thread is for which kit. That was very clever of me. Amanda says, having cut floss for the card organizer, it took me days. The amount of seconds I take cutting floss off the scan and rewinding doesn't even compare. Oh, for thread cuts like mine, but it's kind of a one-off thing-ish. Because once you get your master set going, you don't have to do much. And I can switch projects as many times as I want. I don't need to do anything. You know, I've got the master set, I've got my needle board. They stay where they are. So I find it really convenient. Whereas before that, I went through a period of using thread cards, but one set for each project. And it was back when I had about 4. And even then, it was, you know, sometimes I get the wrong set and stitch the wrong numbers. Because at that time, when I was creating individual set for each project, I was mostly a symbol person. I didn't reference the numbers. You know, I just ignore the numbers. I try to find symbols. It took me a little while for me to get my head around to actually start to reference to the thread numbers. Tamara says, I stitch two-handed on lap stand and score rows, so I only stitch home. Yes, I suppose you probably can't take those easily outside. I don't think I stitch outside my home either. I don't think I've ever done that. I'd love to stitch on airplane at some point. It sounds like fun, you know, and it's going to make flying a little bit less tedious. And probably to distract you a little bit from being terrified. And imagine, you know, I'm stitching here with you about 4 hours a day, most days. And if I was on a flight for 4 hours, it would feel like eternity. Whereas stitching here just feels very easy. 4 hours, just like, huh, nothing. So imagine, you know, if I actually stitch on the airplane, it would probably make life a little bit easier. Cello. Cello 7 says, can you show me how you thread your needles? Yes, I can. I'm about to do it. Okay. So look at this. Cello. So I take my thread, single strand or double strand, doesn't matter. I take my needle and I hope you can see it. This is where the eye of needle is here. And I just wrap my thread over the eye of the needle roughly. And just press really hard around here. Hopefully you can see it. And then slide the needle away. So it's here. My thread is just here. I'm picking out just a tiny bit here. Can you see it? And I'm going to just place my needle. Let me see if I can focus a little bit more. Oh, hang on. Let me just turn this. I'm just changing the setting a little bit so you can a little bit more. Let me see. So, no, this is not what I'm doing. What am I doing exactly? No, no. This is what I want. So I want to autofocus here. Yeah, can you see it? Much better? No? So yes, basically I'm wrapping the thread over. Oh, that's better. I'm wrapping the thread over the needle here. Can you see that? And just pinch it really tight and slide the needle away. So the thread is still inside here between my fingers. And all I'm doing is just place the eye over this bit. Can you see that, how easy it is? Sliding through. Done. Make sense? I'll do it again with the different colors. This color will be easier to see. The darker color. Let's have a look. So this is my thread here. Let me see if I can focus. And my needle right here. Can you see that? So I just wrap the thread over my needle around the eye, doesn't matter, and just pinch really hard and then slide the needle away. And the thread is right there. You need to pinch hard. The flatter your thread is, the easier it is. And then I'm just placing the eye of the needle over. Done. So if you practice, you can do this like within half a second. Make sense? Okay. Here we go. We're back. Thread yoga. Love it. Yes, exactly. I don't do many things fast, okay? So I'm very proud that I can thread needles relatively well. I don't have many skills, guys. You've seen me stitching, so you can tell how proud I am with my threading skill. Yes, cello. Cello says, I've never seen a needle threaded that way. I learned it from a floss tuber. Well, not floss tuber, maybe floss tuber. Someone basically demonstrating how to thread a needle quickly. And I had to practice a little bit. Can you see that? It's done. About, less than a second. And it's really a good skill to have if you're parking a lot. If you're doing this type of method, it helps. So you're kind of not worry about having to thread and unthread quite a lot. So it's kind of part of my flow. I don't mind it at all. Passion for Stamping says, I'll have to try threading that way. Yes, I'm surprised not many people know it, because even Komari, I see her trying to take a needle and then take kind of the end of the thread and try to push it through like that. And it's very, very fiddly. Lefty says, I thread my needles like that too. I have a small celebration to myself because sometimes I do it without looking. Oh, that's advanced. I have to look. But, I can do it fairly quickly. Yes, I think with some practice, it can be done quite easily. Right here. Amanda says, that's how I learned to thread my needles. I also pinch floss between my fingers. Yes, it's so much easier, isn't it? And also, it kind of helps to get needles with generous amount of eye as well. So for two strands in particular, I love the DMC ones and prime ones. The eyes are a lot more generous comparing to John James. For instance, John James 26 count, size 26, they've got very narrow eyes. So for size 26, I do not use John James needles, but 28 is really good. John James is my favorite. With single strand is quite easy to thread. But for two, you want to find needles that's got slightly more generous eyes. Hi, Ruth. Ruth says, my mother taught me to thread a needle the same, Yogi, when I was a child learning embroidery. Yes, I learned from, I'm sure the lady demonstrated this method was quite an experienced person as well. And I remember I learned it quite a few years back, and it's benefited me tremendously. There you go. Okay, and this one up here. 1, 2. One, two. Laura says, I think I learned that method from Needle Ninja. Oh, she threads her needles a lot. Yes. I think if you do any kind of parking methods, you probably need to, I think this method would be a game changer. Because Kamari, for instance, she doesn't thread and unthread that frequently because she does cross country and she would allow, the thread to run out, and she doesn't park. So it probably doesn't matter. And also single strand, you can probably get away with, try to thread it by pushing the end of the thread through. But, two strands, you're probably going to struggle. And also if you change your colors, your switching colors a lot, that kind of method is a little bit of hit and miss, isn't it? So Lynn says, I can't thread my needles like Yogi. The eyes are too small. Sometimes it takes me 10 minutes to thread. Good job. I'm not at the Salvation Army when I thread my needles. But the thing is, Lynn, either you can practice this method, or you can get us, needle threaders like this. It's really handy. These are for embroidery needles, and it's got very, very stable, unlike those really thin, wire ones. I braid them all the time. If you get just one of these are for embroideries for really long eyes, and you just pull it through, and then you've got a huge space there for you to push your needles through. If you don't want to do it like I do, you can just use a needle threader like this. Okay, it's a lot easier. Okay then, it's 17 minutes past midnight. I'm going to pick one more color. It's been sort of quite a lot of color changes. This area is particularly very confetti, very confetti. And why don't I do a little bit of the border? I totally forgot. I just focus on, this area, the flower area. Why don't let me have a look at the pattern. Yes, I think this is very doable. I've got two stitches here. I'll probably do this one and then one more. So, and it's nice to change the color group as well. This is kind of orange. Oh, this one's really, really short. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get away with it. 2 stitches. This is not the right color at all. Hang on. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. This one's darker. 1, 2. I need to double check the color. For this color, okay. Laura says they have automatic thread needle threaders now too. Put a needle in one side and thread on the other and click like a lighter. Huh. Is that for any kind of needles? Because I had, that was a long time ago, I had one that looks like a sewing machine, like a mini sewing machine. I don't know whether you've seen those. It's very fiddly to do, but I didn't know how to thread properly at that time, so I actually tried to use that, but it was tricky. Okay. 2. And then I'm gonna do one more, but this one only has 2 stitches. It's 3776. 3776. And this is going to be my last color. 3776. Stitch orange for a change. Let me zoom out a little bit. I think being able to thread or have a system that works for you, it's really important, because if you don't enjoy threading, you're probably not going to enjoy stitching very much, because you're going to be thinking about, oh dear, I have to change color again. Or maybe you can do extreme cross country, you know, and cut your thread really, really long and just keep stitching the same color. That's one way of coping with it. All right then, 2 more stitches. And then, of course, I am going to share with you my stitch count. I have no idea what the stitch count is going to be like, because on one hand, if you do 10 stitches, it's by default, in theory, a little bit faster anyway. But at the same time, today has been very confetti. So I have no idea how is it going to be. Okay, so that's my last stitch. I'm gonna end it. 3776. All right then, let's have a look. Let's have a look. There. Let me zoom out a little bit. And have a look at this. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's like a painting, some sort of illustration. And I love the fact that you can see the slashes. It actually helps. Look at this. It makes it look like sketches, like color pencil sketches. And let me zoom out a little bit more here. So today I've been working on mostly around this area. So the whole purpley area is brand new. And a little bit of green here as well. So I've been working sort of diagonally around this area here. and really enjoy it. And I have not deviated from this area, from this method today. So that's good news. And I was hoping to maybe extend this border a little bit more, but you know, maybe next time. I think I'm moving into slightly different color groups here. You can see there's more yellow and more orange. So today I'm working on this piece, Dry Flowers. Okay, let me show you the markup here. You've never seen it before. It's gorgeous. And I'm on the top left area there and working slowly toward the center top, and really enjoying it. It's such a beautiful piece, and it's going to be a little while before I get to the kitty, okay? But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And also, you know, in the background, there's probably a little bit of air stitching, guys. You know, when we get to those areas, you know, the windows, the back, it's going to be a little bit challenging, but you know, I'm looking forward to the challenges. And let me show you what's happening on my fabric here today. Okay, and as promised, I am going to share with you my stitch counts. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Yes. Oh, thank you, Scant. Says beautiful. Thank you for the stream. Yes. And I'm going to share the number with you. I'm counting down to 3, 2, and 1. All right. Okay. A modest 174. Yeah, but super confetti. You know, guys, not bad. Not bad. 174, which is essentially nearly 2 blocks of stitching, isn't it? And as you can see, just looking at how many part threads I've got here, and not bad. It's nearly 200, isn't it? And in terms of percentage, 7.44. I probably inch, you know, slightly forward a little bit. I'm very happy with it, and nice and slowly. But I love this piece. I love the effect, and I think 10 stitches is just perfect for it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your you know, stitching your project as well. And so it's 27 minutes past midnight, and tomorrow, Friday, we do not have stream, okay, on Fridays, but on Saturday, hopefully we're going to come back with double stream. If not, definitely firmly we have Amy Stewart Sao. So I'll let you know on Saturday, and let you know if we have the members only stream as well. If we do, I'm going to be working on samplers. Okay, so come and join me, and until Saturday, be good, and take power nap sometimes, okay? And eat veggies. I'll see you on Saturday. Bye bye. Nighty night. Love you all. Bye.